Magic is all the rage these days.
My apologies, but I am not in the mood for visitors. Not after the debacle that was my last auction. Stolen from by my own valet. Bitten by the viper I nursed in my bosom. Oh, the indignity.
Oh, drama indeed. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I could help you get to the bottom of this.
Sir Finley Lane. Philanthropist, industrialist, art collector. It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I suppose I could use your help, if only to confirm my suspicions about Vincent.
Could you tell me more about Vincent?
A scoundrel with one leg and two faces. He's been my valet for a dozen years. Who would have thought that he would stoop so low as to steal from me?
Vincent has only one leg.
He lost his right leg in the Crimean War, but despite his age and his peg leg, he's actually quite spry on his foot. I took him in, gave him a job, and this is how he repays me.
What happened at the auction?
I intended to sell the gem of my collection, Cordona cypresses, to fund an orphanage. God knows we need to take some of these poor waifs off the streets. To entertain my guests before the bidding, I arranged a magic show. When it was over, I went upstairs to the gallery, and it was gone. The cypresses were gone!
Did your guests enjoy the show?
Oh, yes. The amazing Alonso is well worth the money. The orange trick was nothing short of amazing. Everyone was completely enthralled.
So you suspect your valet of stealing the painting?
There's no one else to suspect. He's the only person other than myself who was upstairs that day. He had asked for a day off only the night before, so I was a little surprised when he came here just before the auction.
Did he tell you why?
Something about a damaged wallpaper roll. I'm refurbishing some rooms, you see, but that's his job. I don't bother myself too much with the details.
I'd like to take a look upstairs where the burglary took place.
Well, you look like a decent man, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to my gallery. It's the only copy, so please don't lose it.
Pretty big for an orphanage. An ambitious project. These must be the names of the contributors.
The next lot is Sherlock's Unmentionables. Do I hear £500? 400. These are real sweet-smelling oranges, not props.
Secret compartments are hidden amongst the fake foliage. Nothing but a clever illusion. There are traces of concealer on the rim. Pushing this button makes the oranges grow within seconds.
Oh, someone spilled the paint. Mind your step, Sherry. If it were up to me, this renovation would have been much nicer.
The paint splatters on the plank and floor don't match up.
Fella's only got one leg. Can't blame him.
Right, footprint, size 9.
Remember playing sardines as a kid, squeezed into tight spots? This feels the same.
The end's in Miner's End. The end of what?
Of some miners, apparently.
It doesn't matter who squeezes the oranges, what matters is who gets the juice. Cordona cypresses, Angelo Cicchetti, 1840. The frame is intact, he took only the canvas.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
The thief entered the house disguised as Vincent, removed his fake peg leg, and walked across the plank to the gallery where he stole the painting. Your valet is innocent, Sir Finlay. In fact, he wasn't even here on the day of the auction.
But I saw him with my own eyes.
The man you saw was disguised as Vincent, with both his legs present and extremely capable. As you were engrossed in the show, he walked across a plank to the gallery right above your heads. An acrobatic feat of no mean proportions.
My good old Vincent, in truth, I didn't doubt him for a second. Do you know who the brazen thief is?
Not yet, Sir Finlay, but rest assured I will find him.
I would be much obliged if you'll recover my painting, too. Just think of all the urchins who would get a chance at honest work.
Wait a moment, I thought you were planning to fund an orphanage, not a workhouse.
Bah! Workhouse. What an outdated notion. The orphans will be fed, clothed, and educated. Yes, they will also learn an honest trade. What's the harm in that? Surely it's better than picking pockets and begging on the streets.
With all due respect, Sir Finlay, this is exploitation of child labour, no matter how you look at it.
You're entitled to your opinion, sir, but the fact remains the painting belongs to me, and what I do with it is nobody's business but my own. Thank you, and good day.
Greeting.
Magic is all the rage these days.
Who do you think you are, barging in here like this? Another hack writer from the Chronicle, here to mock my misfortune. I will not tolerate your lampooning.
I have no intention of mocking you, and I am no hack writer. My name is Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes! The name sounds familiar. Are you perhaps related to that brilliant young man, Mycroft Holmes? My late husband, Sir Ralph, spoke very highly of him.
Yes, indeed, he is my brother. I am sorry for your loss, Lady Gruber.
Loss isn't the word for it. It's an outrage. It was a black pearl necklace, not some mere bauble.
Actually, I meant your, Never mind. What happened exactly?
What happened? I was robbed, for heaven's sake. While my guests and I were enjoying the amazing Alonso show, a thief broke in through the window and stole my necklace.
Do you suspect anyone? One of your guests, perhaps?
Good heavens, no. My soirees are strictly for Cordona's creme de la creme, very far removed from the debaucheries of that libertine Lady Calf. Do I suspect Lady Vaughan, the governor's own cousin, or the Right Honourable Lord Crane, or Lieutenant Colonel Wolfe from Dorset? Preposterous!
It was a magic show, yes?
Oh, yes. Alonso turned cards into butterflies. An impressive spectacle. Everyone loved it. Lieutenant Colonel Wolfe became so excited he had a coughing fit. I had to send him to the guest room to catch his breath.
I'd like to take a look at the crime scene.
Please go ahead, Mr. Holmes. I haven't touched anything whilst waiting for the police. Those laggards do take their time, don't they?
The audience don't notice the secret compartment hidden behind all the cards. Pushing this button swaps the upper and lower compartments and releases the butterflies. Signed by someone from the audience, I think.
Don't distract me. This part's tricky. Ah, this Alonso enjoys changing faces as much as you do.
A hint of gravitas for my wardrobe.
This room suits me, doesn't it?
The glass and the locking bars are intact, the windowsill is perfectly clean. These cards are carefully arranged. The thief is trying to tell us something. All the other jewellery is untouched, but why?
This butterfly must have seen something. Come on, little chum. Spill it.
How did it get here? This bedroom looks more like a treasury.
Or a dragon's lair. Even asleep, she's guarding her precious hoard. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
The Lieutenant Colonel picked the lock to the bedroom and opened the window to make it look as though someone broke in. The thief didn't break in through the window, as he would have you believe, Lady Gruber. He picked the lock of the door from the guest room. It seems as though Lieutenant Colonel Wolfe has sticky fingers.
But why would someone of his station commit such a crime? He's a reputable man, a commander of the Dorset Regiment's 3rd Battalion.
Did he introduce himself to you as such?
Why, yes. He was such a debonair gentleman, a brilliant raconteur.
And an impostor to boot. A thief in wolf's clothing, so to speak.
But, Mr. Holmes, that is a serious accusation.
The Dorset Regiment has only 2 battalions, Lady Gruber.
What are you saying? I need to sit down.
Well, you know, I may catch the thief yet. Until then, I bid you farewell.
Good luck, Mr. Holmes.
A contest for the guests of Cordona. Find hidden
Do you know anything
treasure.
about this?
Mr. Fancy Clothes won't find any answers here.
Have you found anything helpful?
I'll be right here.
How do you do?
Hi.
You must be the amazing Alonso.
Sir, if you want to book a show, unfortunately that is not possible. All of my props have been confiscated until further notice. And if you're here to ask me about those burglaries, I have nothing to add to what I've already told the police. It wasn't me.
I am investigating the burglaries in Grand Sarre. The clues led me here, and what a coincidence that you are here also. Except that I don't believe in coincidences.
Believe what you like, sir. I don't know about your clues, but I'm here seeking answers the same as you. The person behind this knows my tricks well. So well that it's uncanny. The thing is, I used to practice here back when the atelier was in business. Some of my props are still in the basement. And the answers are too, I think.
What are you waiting for then?
Look around you. This neighborhood is a criminal's paradise. The building is overrun by bandits. What should I tell them? Don't mind me, fellas, I'll be in and out.
Let me compliment you on your disguise, especially the mustache.
Thank you kindly. I wouldn't call it a disguise, though. Alonso is my stage persona. But the moustache is indeed fake, guilty as charged. Mine is a slow grower.
Miss, please, I can see that you're a woman.
Very well, I am a woman. So what? I've learned all my own tricks. I want to be taken seriously, rather than as someone's jumped-up assistant. Do you really think that if I didn't put on this act, I'd bask in the glory of being the world's first female magician?
Actually, that sounds quite plausible.
Huh, that's easy for you to say. Sometimes, if we want to be true to ourselves, we have to pretend to be someone else. My friend told me this once, and I think that he's right.
It strikes me as rather dubious reasoning. Who is this friend of yours?
A close friend, who recently arrived from France. Let's leave it at that. You may have exposed me, but I simply don't see how my personal life is relevant.
Fine. I'll go inside and see if I can find something. Don't go anywhere.
I'm coming.
Take a rest, my friend. Good day. Don't bother, Moo.
The snuff's ready.
miss the party.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
No more crime for you.
Time to knock. The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll...
Give him the pepper snuff. Oh, you killed him!
Dodge this! I couldn't miss the party.
We can overcome the brute now.
Don't bother.
The snuff's ready.
I couldn't miss the party.
Don't cry, you'll live. Take a rest, my friend.
Give him the pepper snuff. Time to knock this guy out.
No more crime for you until next month.
So little light for these little fellas.
The same oranges as we saw at Lane's house. Timed to perfection. The saw was tested on different materials, most meticulous.
You're getting warmer, Mr. Holmes. Warmer still. Join me at the fireplace. Warmer still. Join me at the fireplace.
Dr. Claw has escaped, Inspector. Cordona cypresses and a bonus wallpaper roll. Dr. Claw has escaped, Inspector.
These must be the diagrams of all the magic tricks in the amazing Alonso's arsenal.
So, what did you find?
You won't like what I have to say, but you deserve to know. Your French friend, Arsène Lupin, used this place as a hideout.
No, that can't be true. He's staying at Il Palazzo del Luce. He's there at this minute. But how do you know his name?
It is my business to know things, miss. He is the thief. This was all some twisted joke to him.
No, this is just... This can't. He was the only one who understood me. He said that he loved me.
I don't believe that you'll ever see him again. He has slipped away from the island.
Good riddance to him, then. All men are the same, aren't they? They come and go, leaving nothing behind but lies.
Well, he also left the stolen painting. Although I generally do not condone misappropriation, I think you should have this painting. Go to Europe, resell it, learn new tricks. Just don't make a show of it. It's still stolen property.
I will think about it. I never asked your name.
It's Holmes. Sherlock Holmes.
I am Melinda Teller. Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Miss Teller. Good luck. My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend. I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happens somewhere in the manor.
Finally moving forward. Shall we go?
I should write a book about the behaviour of bees someday.
A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it?
Hey, this is the luggage
You know,
we bought
I
from
envy
London,
you,
isn't
Sherry.
it?
You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
The local justice system in all its glory. I think our family portrait used to hang here. I had a surprise for my mother. You had a shovel with you, John. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or rather, quite a big piece of it. I remember now, we dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona, and were eager to show my mother right away. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked. Another one. There must
But
be
nobody
something
answered.
behind it.
We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. It came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it. Her things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to sort through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality. It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad. I'm sorry.
This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. It reminds me of my mother.
Look what I found. The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? Oh, nice move. You saved the king and checkmated the Black King with the rook.
No labels. I doubt it ever had one. There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom.
Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all. Straps on the bed. Just doesn't look right. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. 1 dram dissolved in a glass of water, administered daily, not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not bars, covering the windows from the inside. My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her... a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.
It reminds... This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. Bars, covering the windows from the inside.
You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want.
Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object. Oh, it brings back some memories. The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
In the end, little has changed. My mother was still unwell, just not with tuberculosis. What I do not yet understand is why Mycroft lied about it. There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic soles. What is this sailor doing here?
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was looking for you.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You can call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favourite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
Come! Merhaba. It's a good day for a purchase. May your purchase bring you joy.
Mr. Holmes, you came! Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry? You sure you don't like art, Sherry? Back home we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness umbrella. A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time. The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Closed with a metal bolt. Footprints. Size 9.5. Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately. Saturn devouring his sun. Grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache. Coal fingerprints. A Malpao butt. Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft. The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
This thief was familiar with the gallery, and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.